far be it from me to ever quit on something here. I took a little bit of a break with the news going on. I figured after the Super Bowl it'd just be a little easy to do that. So I am back now. Thanks for sticking around. If you've been waiting for another video from me, I got some stuff written down here for free agency that's been going on since it just opened up the past couple days. This is going to be mostly Niners related. I thought about expanding out beyond that, but there's so much going on in the league, and the 49ers have had quite a bit going on in the first few days here, that we're pretty much just going to stick with them outside of one story that does involve them, though, and we will cover that one. We'll cover that one. We'll see. To start off with, though, we're going to start off with some departures here. Starting off first, Mike McGlinchey, who's been with the team for quite a few years now, is now with Denver. It says here 5-year, $87.5 million, $50 million guaranteed. I'm kind of on the fence about it, I guess. He was great when he wanted to be, especially with run blocking, but he was always seemed to be the weakest side when it came to pass attempts, which I think anyone can see. I do wish him, of course, all the best there. It's one I'm not super torn up about for him leaving. I'm sure they could find someone to replace him. I think they will. Thanks for the years, though, for Mike. And hopefully he does well in Denver. He's with Russell Wilson now. He's got to protect him. So we'll see how that goes. Other departure here, Jimmy Ward going most likely to the Texans. It didn't say if it ever got finalized. This is from a few days ago as of this recording. He's been with the team now for quite a few years, and the past couple years really came on strong, set some career highs in tackles and interceptions. This coincides with DeMeco Ryans being defensive coordinator, and it looks like DeMeco now wants to have him over there in Houston. Should be a great fit for him. Of course, I hope DeMeco does well in Houston, therefore I hope Jimmy does well in Houston. Hopefully that franchise gets turned around with DeMeco under the helm. I think there's a very good chance of doing so. But thank you very much to Jimmy Ward for also being with the team for all those years and helping trying to reach that promised land still. Now for signings, first one that was of note was defensive tackle Javon Hargrave from Philadelphia last year. 4 years, $84 million. He's now going to be on the line with Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. I honestly couldn't imagine how the defensive line could have got better. This, though, seems fantastic. In the past 3 seasons, he's done 23 sacks, of which 11 came last year when the Eagles just were unstoppable with all the sacks they were accumulating up there. This team up on the defensive front four now should undoubtedly be the best in the league, I would think. I don't see any flaws with this, and if he can produce that many sacks this upcoming season as he did this past year, I think that front four is going to be absolutely terrifying for any quarterback or any rusher to try and get through. I'm looking forward to him being here. It is going to be absolutely fantastic to see him in a Niners uniform. A fun little one here, or not fun, but I think it was necessary. Sam Darnold is now with the team for 1 year at $4.5 million. He, of course, has had a very troubling career. Maybe not troubling, but it's been up and down. He started with the Jets in 2018, and I just don't see any quarterback doing well with the Jets, really, back in 2018. Of course, Robert Saleh now leads the team this year, and they definitely improved this year, but the Jets back then, they were bad. I don't think any quarterback was ever going to do successful with them. He was with Carolina in 2021, and after last season, got benched towards the end there. He showed some flashes. With this is clearly a signing to have some depth just in case Lance has to have issues again and Brock is having issues with the elbow. This is definitely a backup to have there. I don't know where he will fit in the depth chart. I'm guessing right now Lance might be first because Purdy's going to be out still, because I think the surgery just happened recently. If it still hasn't happened, I haven't got an update on that yet. But we'll have to see. Darnold, I think, would fit just fine in with this team. I think really any quarterback who's somewhat competent could fit in with the Niners offense. I'm not particularly worried about him being here now. But it's a decent fallback signing just in case something happens to go wrong, because it seems like the quarterback position is cursed with this team. This leads to the biggest story. This one is a departure, but I want to save this one for the end here. Of course, Jimmy G, as we all expected him to be going this season now because this was the final year of his contract. Clearly, he was not going to be anywhere touching first or second string quarterback. Well, he wasn't even touching first, and second string quarterback for him isn't really a possibility on a team like this because he is capable of being a starting quarterback. So he is now with the Raiders. I had a feeling he was probably going to go here, especially once the Jets started talking to Aaron Rodgers. My other option was maybe Houston he could have gone to because D'Amico was there. But Jimmy G's now with the Raiders, 3 years, $72.75 million. He does rejoin Josh McDaniels, who was the offensive coordinator with him back in New England from 14 to 17. Jimmy won 2 Super Bowl rings as a backup there behind Brady. I think every Niners fan knows the story of Jimmy G. He came here at the trade deadline in 2017. After getting started late in the season there, he went 5-0 to start with the Niners there. They finished the season 6-10, but everything was looking great. Following season in 18, gets that injury against Kansas City. He's out for the season, and he seemed to change quite a bit coming back from that injury. It looked like he wasn't quite the same. Mobility seemed to be limited because those first 5 games just looked fantastic at the end of the 17 season. I know people didn't have a whole lot of tape on him, all that stuff, but it was still only 5 or 6 games going into that season there in 18. So he just looked off when he came back. That being said, when he actually was healthy, 2019 was a fantastic year. Super Bowl, I know they didn't finish it off. I know people want to blame Jimmy for overthrowing Emmanuel Sanders there. Yeah, okay, maybe he overthrew. I think they lost that Super Bowl for other reasons. We won't get into that right now, but it's what it is. 20 was an injury-plagued year. 21 was a nice, decent comeback, make it the NFC Championship game. And, of course, this past season, after Lance gets injured in week 2, Jimmy G comes back and has a renaissance. He was doing better than he did in the 2019 season even. He never had a really big deep ball or anything, but he was playing solid and making smart decisions this past season and was doing great. If he didn't have that broken foot injury, he probably would have finished the rest of the season. There's no guarantee how the Niners, of course, would have done record-wise with that. We also wouldn't have seen BCB come in at that point. So I guess it kind of worked out, silver linings all which way around. But of course, Jimmy, I give him the respect for putting up with all this throughout the years here, especially with the whole situation with Trey last year. He handled it professionally, very much so. And I wish him the best of luck there in Las Vegas. He's a winner, though. He knows how to win. He has the 3rd best winning percentage, I think, out of active quarterbacks right now. And if he can just carry that over into Vegas, I guess Vegas will start winning games now just because Jimmy's on the team. But thanks once again to Jimmy, and best of luck there in Las Vegas. For the last story, this one just came as of this morning here. The Cowboys are to release Ezekiel Elliott. Speculation is that it's going to be post June 1st, though, because it saves Dallas $10 million if they cut him after that. He is the 3rd all-time leading rusher with the Cowboys. He was good. Started having some regression, though, after he signed his contract back in 2019, and clearly took a step back now to where he was definitely the 2nd string running back. So much respect to this guy, though, for being an athlete. Very great. I included this story, though, because, of course, it involved the 49ers, because now his last play ever with the Cowboys is getting absolutely pasted to the floor on that final snap. So, it's, I don't mean to poke fun at the guy, but that's always going to be my memory of Zeke for his last play, for everyone as his last play as a Cowboy. So that being said, this is kind of just a catch up here on what the 49ers have done in the offseason here at the beginning here for a free agency signing. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more involved here coming up, and I look forward to getting back into this regularly and also starting to cover more of the league at large for anything that is notable coming up here soon. But thanks everyone for watching. It is great to be back, and I do look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you very much, and have an excellent time.